Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Love going to throw right away. This one completes Alec Pierce. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Alec Pierce, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. First play from scrimmage all the way into the end zone. Look, the pass was good, but that run after the catch, that's what was really impressive.
And I think the big question I have is, where were the safeties? Where was the tackling? Because going into this game, they had to know that they were going to be tested. That was a part of the defense that had to stand up. And on that play, not even close.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. They'll run here with a rookie. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things off.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. The Vikings hit 9-2 to start play. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. You look at this Packers defense. They come into this one way down at number 23 against the run of the NFL.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
Looking to throw McCarthy. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Working out of the gun. Love. Eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. On now is the Packers punter, standing just outside his own goal line. Let's take it inside his own 40. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Packers, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Throwing is McCarthy. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. You look at this Packers defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. Then he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. A nice little juke. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And he's got Pierce. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter route.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line.
No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Keyshawn Butte.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Packers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
Escapes the defender.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And, Charles, what a battle this is within the division, because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So the winner of this game, they'll have a big advantage.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now McCarthy.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. And he's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Touchdown! A great play there. 29 yards.
And the Vikings are back within a score.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them. But go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
Love. Dancing to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Love from the gun on 3rd down.
Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce.
And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. On now is the Packers punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's out right at the 25. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7.
To the air with McCarthy.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Edwards. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Operating from the gun. McCarthy escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
They'll try and run for this with Akers.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
On play action, McCarthy.
Rolling to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. McCarthy.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half. And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Throwing. Love.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game.
To the air again, Love. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. He will have the 1st down and a bit more.
And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Christian Watson.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Now they're just going to run it here up the middle. And some strong running. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback, and the third quarter will start from the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. 94 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
McCarthy operating from the gun.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll run on first down with Akers. Down to about the 23.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Third down from the gun, McCarthy. That is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score. McCarthy going to look to throw for it. They'll roll him out right. That's caught. And he's not going to get in as a try for two comes up empty. So they will be unable to cut this to a field goal as the differential remains 5. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Love from the gun. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the...
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13. Love looking to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he gets it down to the 32. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Motion man right, that's Pierce. Here's Love. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 3 quarters have come and gone. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Love going to give it up on the touch pass. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Keyshawn Boutte with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Packers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Yeah, the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him?
It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 124 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run here with Akers. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Let's go.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Over the middle, complete. That's Edwards. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he'll get it only to about the 3 and no further as they stop him. The running play does not work from the 5 on 4th and goal. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. A real chance for them to salt this game away after that turnover on downs, holding a 2-score lead in the 4th quarter. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And taken at the 46. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy buying time to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. From the shotgun, McCarthy.
He'll buy some time right.
Throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely four-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. Fourth down. They'll try and run for it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Looking to throw, McCarthy.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down.
Love going to give it up on a touch pass.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Packers.
Christian Watson
with career touchdown number 60.
And the Packers are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. And this win now going to look a little more lopsided on the scoreboard, CD. Now, some may have run out the clock in that scenario, but they wanted to put their foot on the gas, get one more touchdown, and they did just that.
Well, partner, I would say the traditionalists not overly excited about that score. They'd like to see the game played a little bit differently. But what you can't argue with is their execution of that play, because it played out exactly as it was drawn up. It almost would have been a shame not to finish with such a well-run play.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long? Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense.